So we finally have some Underglow lights from places like EVBase. I've seen Underglow lights like forever now, right? But why don't they ever have them for the Tesla? I mean, sure, you could go on like Amazon and just get some basic Underglow kits, put them on your Tesla, and you could get them to work. Quick note, the reason why it's not so easy to just find some lighting kit on Amazon is for the Juniper and the new Model 3 Highland is that they're on a new 16-volt system. It's not using the same old 12-volt battery that, you know, pretty much every car used to have. They've got a 16-volt system. Tons of lights on Amazon, all those cheap kits, they run on 12 volts and they will get messed up if they work at all with this car, which runs 15.6 to 16 volts. They're probably going to blow out immediately, or they're going to start getting flaky, they're going to burn out. Before this kit came out, however, I did install some rock lights on a friend's Juniper. I'll put another video out to show how to do that, but it involves buying a separate step-down transformer thing. It's just a little bit more complicated, so that's what makes this kit so much better. But nobody's put together a kit just for the Tesla. Well, EVBase went ahead and did it, and we're going to take a look at them today. So there's a number of reasons why you want to stick with this video, because there are things that work really great and things that kind of don't. And we'll get into all of that. We'll get into everything, but just let me tell you some things right off the bat. The kit for the Juniper, it's like a kit for the Juniper. It's a kit for Tesla. The kit for the Highland Model 3, however, it doesn't work out as well just because we don't have that power plug in the back. You know, the old cigarette lighter accessory power port that's in the back. We don't have that on the Model 3, so it makes it a little more difficult to put the kit in. If I should say difficult, it just makes it different. But that's why you watch my channel, because I tell you how to get through this. I show you how to get through the challenges of hooking this up to my Model 3 Highland performance, okay? So that's the other part of this. The performance is also different. Why? Because we have a diffuser in the back, that back arrow diffuser thing. And honestly, it kind of screws it up, all right? I'm just going to be dead honest with you. It kind of screws the back up because, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into the details of it. But if you noticed in that video, little montage in the front, I didn't show the back, okay? There's a reason why I didn't show the back. We'll get into that with the install, though. So I'm going to show you the install for the Model 3 Highland. That's going to be my install. For the Juniper, though, I'm just basically going to snag EVBase's video and show you how that works. So there's going to be two separate install videos. Watch what you need, the Juniper or the Model 3 Highland. And the other thing that's also very important is where I mounted the side lights on. Well, actually, the side and the front. My car is very low. Again, we go through all this on the install. But the side view, if you saw the side of the car front in the beginning of the video here, the lights don't project out very far because of where I had to mount them. I had to mount them further in. Just again, my car is just so low. I wanted them on the highest point that I could get, so that meant I had to put them further in. When you put them further in, they don't glow out as nicely as I would have liked them to. They should glow out like I have them in the front. And again, the front is a bit of a challenge. If you've got a low Tesla, it's just a problem, all right? That's all there is to it. It's just a problem. Things are going to scrape and hit on the bottom of this car. There aren't a lot of places that are up like higher. I don't know what I'm doing here, but there's no places here that won't just scrape on this car. The battery is just flat. You look underneath the car, it's just like flat. So there's not a lot of good places to hide and put these lights underneath this car where it's going to be protected. The further in you put them in the car, the less that they shine out like you want them to. So anyway, it's a give and take. To summarize, if you've got just like an average Juniper, you got a Juniper, you want to put these lights on, fantastic. You're perfectly set. You're ready to go. If you got a Highland Model 3, yeah, a little bit of a challenge on the install, but it's not bad at all. The lower your car is, though, the more problems that you have. But it's not because of this kit. It's just the way it is with lowered cars, trying to put things underneath them. You're going to have some problems. And if you haven't seen my car during Christmas, yeah, I'm into lights. When they're on, it's pretty stinking cool. It looks like this, and this, and this, and just about any other way I want it to look. Yeah, I'm into the bright, shiny things. All right, we're testing what we're going to hook up with this. This is the car battery, and I'm not out in the garage doing this because of that, because of this.
Hello.
Don't mind this. Anyway, this is the car battery. This is what we're going to be hooking up to. I'll show exactly how we're going to hook this thing up. If you have a Highland 3, if you have a Juniper, it's much easier. We get to use this. Anyway, we'll get to all that. But I just wanted to test this out, make sure it works before I start installing everything. But you got the 2 longer strips here, you got the 2 shorter ones on the ends. This is going to be front or back, you know, front or back, and then these are going to be the sides. And we'll get into how to mount it all up, but I always suggest testing this stuff out first. Make sure you know how all the connections go and that everything works before we get going on it. And yeah, right now it's set to sound or rage. You can control it with this thing, but if you have a Juniper, you could do it. If you have a Highland, it's going to be much more difficult to do. But there is an app. Use this QR code here. Magic Lantern. The Magic Lantern app. We'll play with that a little bit more. Yeah, we'll get into everything more later, but obviously it has tons of different modes. We'll be playing with that. But we're going to be using this stuff. We've got these clips to hold it down. We're going to screw it into the underside of the car. Also, there is double-sided tape on here, so we can stick it there. We can screw it down there. And then, yeah, these zip ties here for the wires. Also, a bunch of adhesion promoters. So, yeah, we should be good to go. So, let's go. Yeah, first thing, my car is covered in thousands of Christmas lights, okay? So we'll just get that out of the way right now. Check out my channel for other fun stuff with that. But ignoring all that, trying to ignore all that, this is a Highland Model 3 Performance. You can't use this. They give you this to power these underglow lights, and it is basically designed for the Juniper. The Juniper, you've got the accessory, you know, I always want to call it a cigarette lighter, okay? I'm old school. They have the accessory power plug cigarette lighter in the back. We don't have that in the Highland. And when you have the Juniper, this is how you charge it, or this is how you power it up, using this. And it's, you know, it's not that bad. You can get the wire up there pretty easily. The Highland, however, the only accessory plug like this is in the center console. And all the wiring that comes with this kit, you can't get from there all the way to the back. To go from here to under, like, to get it through the firewall and everything, that can be a really big pain in the butt. I was thinking about doing that, but instead, what I am going to do, or what I've actually started doing, is using the other power leads I gave, and this is really rigged up. I hate how I kind of have to do this. This is the low voltage battery, you know, 15 to 16 volts. And this is like the tab. This is access, gives you access to the positive side of the battery. And with the Model 3 Highland, it's just this. I do have little screws that can kind of screw into these slots with a nut, but you still have to drill it out. Everything, it's a big pain. And for both of these, this powers my my DRLs, and this is what we're working on now. This, I'm hoping they come up with a better solution for. In this, I kind of just stopped caring. I hooked this up temporarily, and it's been temporary for months now. So anyway, I'm not happy with this. But this is how it is. Oh, on the new Junipers, too, they give you a nice big lug, like basically a bolt that you can screw things out. It's really nice. So they did kind of get rid of this. And then, you know, here you just kind of cover it back up. All right, anyway, splice this together here. This ground, I don't have this done yet. I'm gonna hook another little connector up to and probably ground it like right here. So that will give us power here to plug into this guy. And it would be nice to have this in the car because it's got this microphone in here, and you know, the lights can go off of the sound, which I showed before. And then also you'd have this buttons to be able to you know, change the different things right here, turn it on and off. However, I'm just going to be using the app, and yeah, I'm not going to really be able to use that sound control. So I really hope they come up with something better. Like, again, these wires need to be a lot longer, or the other wire. Anyway, we need much longer wires. So we are going to have to go from here down under the car to hook the underglow in the front and side, both ways, both sides. So this one, I think I'm going to go from here to the front,
and then from there to the side, and then here it's going to go from the side to the back. And I think I'm going to do it that way, or maybe vice versa. Either way, that's how you have to do it. Again, you got the 4 sides here: front, side, back, side. Yeah, it's definitely more of a pain on the Highland. It's just not super smooth. But anyway, let's get on with it. The front LED strip, what I'm doing here, again, this is the Model 3 Highland. I drilled a hole in here. You know, don't get too concerned about drilling holes or anything in this thing. If you ever wanted to take this thing off again, literally just put a piece of tape over that. It's really not that big of a deal. There's holes all over this thing. It's replaceable. Don't worry. Be careful where you drill. You can't just drill anywhere in here. And because of that, because I didn't know exactly where to drill on this side, that side it seemed just a little bit more obvious to me that I wasn't going to hit anything. But over here, there's a speaker and things. What I ended up doing is taking the wheel and tire off. Again, this, you know, you don't have to do this for the Juniper. For this car, I'm not sure. It just seemed easier to do this, and it just kind of made more sense. On the Juniper, you put it on that trim that's over the wheel well. Here we don't have that. So anyway, you know, you could take these clips off of here. These pop right off, no problem. And you could pull this back, see what's back there. You could see what you're drilling into. Make sure again that you don't hit the speaker. There's not a whole lot under there really that you could hit. Really, it's just kind of that speaker. It's not that big of a deal. But the wire is going to run. What I'm going to do to keep it simple is I'm going to have the wire run above this here. That'll keep it up here. It'll be above here. So it'll go across there, and then it's going to come down. If you watch my channel, you'll have one of these. All right, these are our coolant line guards, and highly recommend these, as well as this plate here. I'll put links to the video and where to get these, but this stuff is highly recommended. So if you got one of these, take it down. But anyway, that wire is going to run down here, and then I'll show you in a minute where we're going to run it over here. I've already done the other side. Again, it's different on the Highland Model 3, and yeah, we'll talk about this next. But I just wanted to cover this as it being a significant difference than the Juniper. And I'm sure there are different ways to run this wire across here. You know, you just have to be careful. You've got a lot of moving suspension parts here. You know, you could just run it across here and find some way of keeping it from coming down. But yeah, you don't want to get like, don't wrap it around any suspension. Don't put it over or under anything like that, because this stuff's moving around a lot. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. All right, want to show you what I did here. First off, with the Juniper, you wouldn't have to jack your car up at all. Also, with mine, it's lowered, and it's probably too low overall, but it's definitely too low to put these lights on without jacking this thing up. Let me show you what else too. Under here, show you what I did. Now, the instructions, the video and everything says to put the lights, the strip, on this piece here, to tape it and you know, use those little clamps. But they only give you like 10 of those little clips to screw on, so you'd only get like, you know, 3, 2, 3, 3, and that's not really a ton of clips. That's why they give you tape here too. You can't screw them to the battery, but you can screw them to this. But especially my Model 3 lowered, it is really low, and you could see it's taking some scrapes. I think this was actually like a parking garage or something, and here it took like a divot out of that. It was something pretty big. If the lights were here, they would probably been ruined. So I put them here, and if you look, not only is this raised up a lot from this point here, but if you look at the battery pack here, this is, you know, like a side rail, we'll call it. And this is actually at about the same height, maybe even up a little bit from there. So it's got some really good protection taping it to this point here. This is not me, this is from the battery. Also, if you can see in the center, of the battery, the seam. I would tell you with the Juniper to do this same thing, but two things. One, the Juniper is a lot higher off the ground. If you lowered it, though, you know, you might think of this. But at least my friend's Juniper, at least, it doesn't have this like seam rail thing here. It only has like a couple of them in the center like this. It doesn't have this at all. So there's nothing that would protect it anymore. And it's not really, the way the bottom of the car is, it's not really any higher up. There's really no extra protection. So, this is also very important. If you're not familiar, these are the jacking points on the car. There's obviously one on the other side, and you see where the jack is? Yeah, that's a jacking point too. Same type of hole. And if you do decide to tape it, screw it to here, careful where you put it. Because if you put it too far here, whatever puck or anything that's going to be used for this is probably going to ruin it. So if you know, at first, honestly, I was going to tape it, screw it to like the inside here, and I was going to go around this. But here I thought it's better overall. And here you can see it's really close. That puck is kind of touching it, but it's not crushing it. It's not ruining it at all. It's not messing it up. So no worries there. But yeah, just beware of these points here. Let me show you the front of the car. All right, so I decided to put it right here. Honestly, this was a little bit of a tough decision because, again, this car is so low, the front does scrape. And this was a pretty bad scrape here. And honestly, I'm surprised there's not a lot more markings on the front of this car, but you can kind of see some scrapes on here. They're not like heavy-duty scrapes, but, you know, this is kind of flexible too, but they're scrapes. You know, stuff hits the bottom of this car because, again, it's so low. It's so stinking low. I don't know if this thing is going to last. I just don't honestly see it lasting up here. If I scrape on something significant, I don't know what it's going to do. And I was like trying to figure out, okay, do I put it further back? Is it better? Is it worse? You know, looking at this, I'm like, man, it wouldn't have survived here. I don't know. I really don't know. So I did use two of these clips here. I just use this to help me center this down here because I don't have a lot of room to work. It was hard for me to tell where it was left to right. So I found the center of it, put the tape here, and I know that this is the center of the car. Anyway, I also put this tape on there. I don't know why. It just kind of made me feel better, like it's going to last longer. It's, you know, if I hit something like this tape is going to save it. I don't know. For my car anyway, it just seems so risky to have this thing here. I feel like it's going to get torn off, but hopefully it lasts. Here, I think I already kind of showed this, but this is the hole that I drilled, and the hole had to be big enough to actually fit the other entire strip through there and the connector. So I think that's it's either a 1/2 inch or maybe a 9/16 inch hole, and I had to run that entire strip through this hole and wherever I wanted to run that wire. And over on this end, same thing. That hole is right there, and you know, I taped up that hole. I don't know, maybe I'll tape up this other one too. I don't know why, it just kind of makes me feel better. A little OCD, I guess. But that's how I did the front strip here. So let me show you the back, and then we'll go into the front, and I'll show you that wiring. All right, let's take a look under the back of the car. Now, the Performance Model 3, we've got this rear diffuser here, which kind of complicates things, because I would have liked to put the LEDs probably, you know, around here or so. You don't want them too far back where you can actually see the LEDs. You know, you want to see the glow of the LEDs, not the actual LEDs. So, you know, I would have preferred to have them around here, but, you know, we've got all of these diffuser things here, and, you know, to go over them, it's just kind of super messy. So I ended up putting them way back here. We'll see how they look. It might still look pretty cool, but, you know, might not be as great. As you can see, used 3 of the clips and just basically taped it on up there. no problem. You know, you gotta, obviously you've got to clean this stuff off really well. I used a water alcohol mix and, you know, cleaned it like 2-3 times and put the adhesion promoter on there. Let me show you how I wired this up, and I actually messed up a little bit. I meant to run the, get a better angle here. I meant to run the wire through this little opening here, and I kind of forgot. Luckily, this is very close here, so not a lot of wire hanging out there, but let's take a look back here. All right, so, oh, I guess I didn't get under here, but under here where the LED ends, just basically just got the wire underneath here, under the plastic as quick as I could, which led to the wheel well. I have it going up here, over this here, over this here, and then you can see the wire. I just tied it to the brake line. I would have liked to have done this a little bit neater and kept everything maybe behind here, but I don't know, I got a little bit sloppy, but this will be fine here. Just made sure I zip tied everything. You don't want these wires hanging around where they're going to get into the suspension here at all, so that's why I zip tied it to a number of different places here. But yeah, this should all be good.